Hello. Have you ever wondered how to create content that not only engages your audience, but also establishes you as the authority in your niche? Today, we're diving into the art of creating compelling content that will captivate your audience and grow your coaching business. Welcome, everyone. I'm Rashida Green, founder and CEO of Get Coaching, the host of the Mompreneur HQ community, and the creator of the Digimompreneur Academy. Thank you for joining us live on today. And I am so excited to have you here today as we explore the essential strategies for creating compelling content that engages your audience. As mom entrepreneurs, it's important to share valuable information that resonates with your audience and showcases your expertise. Let's dive into the techniques for blogging, video creation, and social media posts to help you establish authority and connect with your clients. With today's topic, engage and inspire, creating compelling content to grow your coaching brand. If you are joining us live, make sure you drop that down in the comments below. Hashtag live. Let us know where you're tuning in from so that we know that the reach of the Mompreneur HQ community. And if you have any questions during the show, make sure you drop those in the comments as well. We will surely address them and get you the help that you need. Also, if you are ready for today's topic, I want you to go ahead and grab your pencil, pen, paper, or digital device so that you can write down any nuggets that you gain from today's show. I want you to feel free to drop your aha moments, of course, during the show, if you so feel inclined, and so that we can know if this really does resonate with you, if you're feeling what if you're picking up what we're dropping down. We want to know how you feel and what type of information that you're looking for, so that we can make sure we're putting on these shows and giving you valuable feedback and information and training that's going to help you in your business. I would also like to remind you that if you love this show, go ahead and share it with others so that they get the benefit of learning what we're chatting about on today's show. And of course, so that you stay in tune with what we're doing and always alert of the next show. Definitely go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Or if you're in the Facebook community, make sure that you follow us so that you get notified of our next episode and anything else happening in our world. All right, now that we've got all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and start talking about how we're creating compelling content and engaging your audience with valuable information. And one of the topics that we decided to talk about today is blogging. I know may not be the most fun thing that you want to do, writing and reading and proofreading and coming up with stuff for people to read. Blogging is actually a powerful way to share in-depth knowledge, right? You can drive traffic to your website and establish yourself as an expert in your field. Why? Because it's blogging. It is something that's on the internet. It is something that people will come to read. And if they find it valuable and important, then they will begin to see you as an authority and may follow you or share your blog. And then the best result would be to take actionable steps upon your call to action in your blog. Of course, there's a whole lot of stuff going into your blog as far as how to make sure that you use SEO and other things like that and topics, but we're going to go get into that in just a moment. So make sure that you are glued to your screen and watching our show, writing down your notes, because we are going to talk about how you can become an expert in your field by writing blogs. Now, number one, you should definitely choose relevant topics, right? You want to focus on topics that address your audience's pain points and interests. We don't want to just focus on pain points and interest, okay? You want to use keyword research tools like Google Keyword Planner or even Uber Suggest to find popular search terms related to your niche. This is going to be important as you continue to develop your blog and the topics and how you actually write it out. Again, I mentioned SEO, that search engine optimization. So keywords are very important because that's what people will be typing into, say, Google or Bing to get to the information that they're looking for. An example would be if your coaching niche is helping mom entrepreneurs. I love using that example. If you're looking to help mom entrepreneurs to balance their work and family, then you want to write blog posts on time management tips, self care strategies, productivity hacks, entrepreneurial tips, things like that are going to be relevant to your particular audience. You want to also create valuable content. Blogs when you're doing blogs, it is writing content, but you want to make sure that your content is valuable by providing actionable tips, step by step guides, and insights that your audience can implement. Aim to educate, inspire, and solve problems, right? You want to be a problem solver. That's how people will begin to learn who you are, understand the skills, and become acquainted with the skills and talents that you have. You want to be a problem solver for your readers. An example would be to write a comprehensive guide on 10 time management tips for busy mom entrepreneurs with practical advice and examples. Now, I use that as an example, but 10 tips or top 10s are actually a good blog topic for anybody, right? It's for any niche. If you can come up with a top 10 guide on anything, you are in good shape. Why? Because not only do those top 10 guides speak about what the top 10 items are, but you can then follow up with a breakdown of those top 10 items, why they're good, why they're not good, the pros and the cons, any other comparables that you can compare against it. Or you can even use it as a pillar post. And the pillar post is the long form blog that has all these 10 tips, but you can also have each one of those tips be their own separate smaller blog. And then you can turn it into a series. If you have your top item number one was laptop computers, and you had the top 10 laptop computers, you can do a review page for each of those 10 individually and then lead them into the top 10 pillar posts and vice versa. So if you had the top 10 item, you can have that laptop and you would link it to your individual post that gives further explanation if they were looking for further explanation. So these are some nuggets that I hope you're writing down when it comes to blogging. That the top 10, if you have if you have nothing else to say, top 10, start with a top 10 pillar post. That will help you to break down all the things that you need for it, potentially another 10 blog posts that you can write to support. And also remember that with these blog posts, you can do links in your blog posts that could potentially get you affiliate opportunities or your own business, right? So if you have products that you can link to the particular blog post in your top 10, and you mentioned your product is one of the top 10, for example, or if you have an Amazon store that you can link those products to that you listed in the top 10 laptops, and you have an Amazon store, you can use your Amazon store links to then fill in that top 10 and get paid for that particular blog mention. So blogging is an excellent way to get clients and get people eyes on your products and services, as well as a potential opportunity to make affiliate or just regular revenue from your blog. Now, another thing you want to do once you have your blog, you've already come up with a relevant topics, you added some value add to your content, then you want to promote your blog. So that means getting it again in front of everybody who is an ideal client for you. You share your blog on your social media, in your email newsletter, and through guest blogging opportunities. So if you know a business bestie who has their blog and you have similar audiences, then why not share it or guest blog on their blog, and then of course refer back to yourself and your products and your blog, and that way you could cross promote with each other and get in front of a new audience. You can engage with readers by responding to comments and encouraging them to share your content. So if you create some eye-catching graphics for your blog post, you can go ahead and share them on Instagram or Pinterest with a link to the full article. That would be an opportunity for you to get your blog out in front of other people. Now, another opportunity would be through video creation. I know video is not easy. It took me a long time to get in front of these here cameras. But once I did and got into the habit of doing it, it became a lot easier. Not to say that I am the A-OK professional, it's just to say that it got a lot easier. So videos are really an engaging way to connect with your audience and showcase your personality and provide valuable information in an easily digestible format, right? So here we have a 30-minute show. You can do a 10-minute clip. Hey, 60-second videos are hot, right? Because you're talking about TikTok and Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, even YouTube Shorts. They don't have to be as short as 60 seconds, but these things, when they're short and snappy and informative and valuable, then, it really can just move very fast. But I'm going to tell you, just because it's a 60-second video don't mean it's a fast one and done shot. Unless you straight original or you're really professional at it, or you just say, you know what, I don't care. It's gonna be a one take and done. You're going to get these here bloopers, right? Because just because it's 60 seconds, it almost makes it even harder to do because of all the editing that you may have to do if you don't get it right the first time. But it is still such a pleasure to be able to come up with these video ideas and showcase your personality and provide information that people really need and want. And when you have this video creation process going, you want to start out first with planning your content, right? Outline your video topics and scripts in advance. That is recommended. But things like Instagram Reels and Facebook Lives and things like that, that's meant to be not it's meant to be off the cuff and just real and raw and just short and brief, or long, whichever one you choose to do, whatever your audience prefers, right? Some people, I don't have a lot of time, I'm busy, I just want to get something and implement it and go, right? So you may have an audience who prefers the short form video. But if not, you have the opportunity to make it as long as you want. There are some people that go hard for their 1 hour shows, right? So it just depends on your audience. Now, if you can focus on providing value, keeping your videos concise, and maintaining a consistent posting schedule, your audience will love you because they love to be able to get the information that they need when they need it, because they can go on YouTube, play it, pause it, speed it up so that they can get done faster. There's so many options with video in that sense. So it really does help to make sure that you're doing it on a consistent basis. I'm not saying every day, 3 times a day. I'm just saying consistent. I cannot be on your schedule and tell you how to treat your calendar, but consistency is always key. All right, an example that I might make would be to create a series of short videos on quick tips for mom entrepreneurs, covering topics like setting priorities, delegating tasks, and maintaining work-life balance. Or I can just use my making of a mompreneur show as a 30-minute training session or video series talking about coaching and starting a coaching business, right? Huh? All right. Whatever it fits your audience, whatever your niche is, go for it. Now, another thing I would say is use quality equipment. A lot of people use their phones, and there's nothing wrong with your phones when you know how to use them properly, because there are certain settings, lighting, and so forth that you can do to adjust the way your phone looks. You don't have to take it at face value if it's too dark or something is in the background. Nowadays, you can edit just about anything, and AI can help you do that if you record it as a video and clean it up with AI resources or just regular phone apps that can help you to make your videos better. But if you're not going to use your phone, how about invest in a good camera? At minimum, how about a microphone? Making sure that you have the right lighting to ensure that your videos look and sound professional. Even simple improvements can make a big difference when it comes to the quality of your content. You want to use natural light or a ring light. And if you can, pick up a lapel microphone to enhance the audio quality of your video so that no matter how far away you are from the phone or the video camera, that you can still be heard. Another thing you want to do when it comes to video creation is to engage your audience. Engaging viewers to like, comment, and subscribe to your channel. Respond to comments and questions to build a community around your content. This is what I'm doing here, y'all. I am doing this stuff. I'm sharing with you on how you can do it too as a mom entrepreneur, to do the same thing. I'm asking you questions. I want you to get involved. I want you to like, comment, and subscribe. I want you to share with me your aha moments. I want you to be able to do these things. And guess what? When you start your video series or your video show, you're going to want the same things. We just want to get into the practice of doing it so that you can get the same back in return. Because, it's karma is real for everything. It's not just about for bad things when people do you wrong, right? You want to be able to do those things to support other businesses so that it comes back to you as a business owner. It may, when you get that consistency going and you're building your business, and it can sometimes feel lonely, it can sometimes feel rough if you don't have that support around you. So when you get an opportunity to be able to support someone in their business, do that. And guess what? Somebody's going to come and support you in your business. It may not even be the same person that you're supporting, but it is the cycle of life. It is the cycle of reciprocation. It is reciprocation. When you give out, you get back. It's a cycle of reciprocation. So I just wanted to share that with you when it comes to engaging your audience in your videos, right? You want to likely have a script, and as I mentioned earlier, and definitely want to have a call to action, whether it's going to be your blog, whether it's going to be a video, social media posts. You want to have some type of call to action, such as leave a comment with your biggest time management challenge, and I'll share my tips. That's an easy one. It based on you just adjust it to base it on your niche and your audience and what they like and whatever the video, and make sure it's relevant to the video. You don't want to have a video on time management and say, now, if you want to learn how to flip cars, two different audiences. So make sure that it's relevant to the audience that you are actually promoting to or making your videos for. All right, as we continue in our conversation to engage and inspire, let us talk about our social media posts. We do know how powerful social media is, and it's not even just one platform. Even though they toggle between who's better, who's got the most views, and so forth. Social media in general, all of these platforms are just ripe for getting in front of your ideal client. When you're talking about sharing bite-sized content, engaging with your audience, promoting your services, your coaching services, social media is definitely an opportunity for you to do that. Not with just the friends on your friends list, but those other people who may be in other groups who don't know you or your services. You get an opportunity on social media to get in front of them. And then there's, what do they call it? Well, we used to have a song called OPPs, but the words I'm thinking of is OPA, other people's audiences, right? That's when you get in front of, we talked about blogging and cross blogging, where you would guest blog rather on someone else's blog and get in front of their audience. The same holds true with social media. If you're in a group that allows promotion, you can get in front of their audience to promote your products and services. So that's an opportunity that you don't want to miss if it's available to you. What you want to do is create a content calendar. We do have a social media content calendar, 366 days of inspiration, where we provide you with all of the tools that you need for a social media post, caption, hashtags, and some of them have Canva templates. We give you holidays, but that's our 366 social media content, and it allows you to plan your social media posts in advance to ensure what? Consistency. We want consistency and also variety. A mix of promotional content with educational, inspirational, and interactive posts really does help when you're looking at a blend of things. You want to schedule your weekly post that includes some motivational quotes, some client testimonials, behind the scene glimpses, links to your blogs or other videos, as well as opportunities that you afford, like opportunities to buy your products and services. You can use posts and the content that spreads throughout. Yeah, I know you only get 7 days a week, but you can use those 7 days. Some people, and I believe I may be one of those, had a promotional day each day of the week. So I have motivational Monday, tip Tuesday, wellness Wednesday, three things Thursday, Friday we had financial Fridays, we had fun Fridays, we had family Fridays. So we was changing it, and then we have our social share Friday on social share Saturday, which you get to share your business in the community. If you have anything coming up that you're selling or products that you're selling, you can drop them in on that thread on Saturdays. And then on Sundays, we was just kind of taking it down for self-care Sunday. But we've since gone away from that model where we're doing that every day. But that's a business decision that you can most certainly make, but don't get stuck with doing the same thing every day. That's my point to that statement. What I do want you to also think about is using visuals, high quality images and graphics catch the eye and make your content more engaging, right? If it's something blah, blah, right? They're going to be blah humbug, right? They're just going to keep on scrolling. They're not going to look at that. It doesn't have to be blaring like all my neon colors. I got neon colors in my, well, they're not neon colors. They're just bright. I like bright colors. That's part of my personality. I have bright colors in my brand. So you're going to get some hot pink, some fuchsia, some lime green or neon green, right? You're going to get these bright colors with me because that's my personality and that's just how I roll, right? But whatever your brand is, you make sure that it fits your brand and your style. It's not about me. It's about you. But caveat, you do need to consider your audience. I'm colorful, but I'm hoping that my audience loves color too. But if you are a straight black all day person, like I have one child's favorite color is black. And that may be too strong or too masculine for a female community, depending on what it is, right? But then again, there may be somebody out there who says, "Oh, I love black. Oh, this post is so appealing to me because it's my favorite color," right? So it just depends. But when you're using tools like Canva to create professional looking visuals, make sure that you are considering your audience when you select your color palette. And one of the things I like to say is if you are a weight loss coach, you might want to stay from orange in your branding. Why? Because I'm told that orange is a food color. If you paint your kitchen orange, you're going to always feel hungry. There is some science or psychology to color. So I think they call it color psychology. So you may want to consider that when you're building out your brand colors, and based on what your business is and your ideal audience is, we may want to steer away from certain colors. So check that out as well. You can also research other top brands and you'll notice there is color theme based on the industry of food. If you Google it, I believe there's already a ton of information out there on that. So check it out. And again, when it comes to social media posts, you want to engage with your audience. That means responding to comments, messaging folks, and mentions to build relationships and foster a sense of community. Here we try to do that. If you are a part of the Mompreneur HQ community, then you know that Maricel stays on it. She's always commenting and reaching out to the community to keep them engaged. And I appreciate her for that. If you are thinking about ways to engage your audience, some ways that you can do that would be to use the features like polls, poll your audience, use stories to encourage interaction, use variety in the style of post that you use. Everything doesn't have to be a long form post. Somebody might fall asleep in the middle of that post. So make sure that you're using variety or you're choosing different styles. We talked about a poll. What about a long form? What about short form? What about just an image? What about us of emojis and having people figure, oh, that's a good idea. Emoji Day is coming, ps.com, in July. So we're going to make some fun with that. And yes, Emoji Day is an opportunity for folks to just use emojis. So those are some things that you could think about when you're talking about how to engage your audience with social media posts. At the end of the day, creating compelling content is essential. Is essential for engaging your audience, establishing yourself as an authority in your niche, and just really keeping that consistency going. By focusing on blogging, video creation, and social media posts, you can provide valuable information, which is very critical in building relationships with your audience. You get a chance to connect with them, and at the same time, grow your coaching business. Thank you so much for joining us on today's episode of the Making of a Mompreneur show as we discussed our topic, engage and inspire, creating compelling content to grow your coaching brand. I talked about blogging, video creation, and social media posts. And if I hope you're ready to create content that captivates and engages your audience, start implementing these strategies today. I want us to build a community of empowered and informed clients together. If you need help, if you need direction, the Digimompreneur Academy is there for you. And of course, as I said in the comments below, make sure that you go ahead and drop your questions, the aha moments, and we'll be sure to respond to you accordingly. I am so glad that you stayed to the end of today's episode, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Making of a Mompreneur show. And until next time.